Right, Tripp's up here. He wants to know how many Bama fans are here. You go over. Come here, Matt. Come here, Matt. Come on. Y'all see Matt Lee, don't you? You know where he's from, don't you? You know what he did, don't you? All right. Bassmaster Classic representative from the college ranks from Auburn University, Matt Lee, ladies and gentlemen. Where are my War Eagles at? Let me hear you. You hear that, don't you? How about them dogs? Where the dogs here? I'm going to let you do one time. Give them a big old, you know what.
All right, let's get it. All the War Eagles out there, let me hear you. Hold up. On the count of three, let's give them big War Eagle. Hold up, he's going to set me up. Set me up. Set me up. Drown those dogs out. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
They got a new coach at Auburn. Hired him from the Hyundai plant named William Sung-Soon. I can say that for them. They got a what? It would be alright. Yeah, he'd be alright. We ain't worried about Reuben from Truth County. We ain't worried about him. We're just having fun. Don't get excited, nobody. Alright, here comes Trip.
You look at this guy real close. What does he look like? Put an Auburn hat on. He coached last year, named is DJ, Gene Chivick.
This place with range was great long before you got here. That's a Gene Chivick place, for those of you who All right, we're going to do hooked up here in just a minute, because I know it's still fishing time. We'll get the football. It's coming. Who's going to Montgomery next week? One guy. I'm going. I live there. I get to sleep in my own bed next week. I'm so excited. I know where all the good places to eat are there, too. Hooked up coming up in about 3 weeks. Tommy Sanders and Mark Zone. I don't know who the guest is, but it's going to be fun, whoever it is. I know. Go dogs. I see you. Yes, I want y'all to channel all that enthusiasm when Mark and Tommy get out here. This thing's broadcasting live all around the world on the World Wide Web, on that computer web thing. Everybody watches this thing. There are troops overseas that get to a computer and watch these weigh in. Fishing freaks in the military serving that state. So, you know, that's this thing going on. They're doing this dance. I see it. And just for your information, while hookup going on, this side of the speakers, we're going to have to pull them down a little bit so we don't get all that back into the TV and all that. Doing that. So it'll be a little bit lower on this side if you can't hear it move that way. That's good.
In my world, it's got a growl.
In my world, it's got a purr.
It's about raw horsepower.
It's about refined horsepower.
It's about sipping the gas.
And catching more bass.
Give me the two-stroke direct injected Pro XS.
I'll take the supercharged Pro 4-stroke.
Either way,
you can't go wrong. So tell me,
what kind of pro are you?
Go to mercurymarine.com and take the online quiz to find the right pro for you.
2012 Tundra. With an available 381 horsepower, 5.7-liter V8 engine that can tow over 10,000 pounds and oversized disc brakes. It's the truck that's as dependable as the people who drive them.
Thanks. Nice truck. Nice boat.
Shut the door on number 4.
You're watching Hooked Up on Bassmaster.com. Presented by Toyota.
Hey, how about it? Are you ready for it? The final edition of Hooked Up. We're at West Point Lake. LaGrange, Georgia is our headquarters for the West Point Lake Battle. Almost halfway through this season. 2013 with the Bassmaster Elite Series. Our top 6 heading into the final day. Championship day. How about the man from South Carolina? He knows what it is to win one of these. That's going to be Casey.
Yes, Tommy Sanders. And in his sophomore season, Chris ZALDAIN from California having a big time out there, sitting in 5th, 31 pounds and 15 ounces.
All these guys shooting for $100,000 on this final day. Todd Faircloth has already won $100,000 at a single tournament. Our first one of the year, and Todd Faircloth caught him big time on day number 3 to gain the top 6 and shoot for it again.
And one of the best to ever play the game when the fishing is tough. Some of the toughest tournaments we've ever had on the Bassmaster Elite Series. You will find Aaron Martens with 32 pounds and 10 ounces.
He was our day 3 leader, day 2 leader. And Pete Pons, how about Pete Pons having the season of a lifetime here? The man from Mississippi comes in here. He's doing something a little bit different. We'll find out all about it today on Hooked Up.
Pete Pons, yo. But here's our guy, a grizzled old veteran, Tommy Biffle. When lakes swell, flood over the banks, one of the best to play the shallow water game. He is your leader coming in.
Hey, look at this crowd. Look who showed up here in LaGrange, Georgia.
And waited. Look at all the white solo cups out here.
Having a great time. I mean, we set records for rain yesterday. Still had a bunch
Tommy,
of folks out here.
hold on a second.
Welcome, what?
No, I was here the last time we were here, and y'all were partying a little more. Kerry, let's do that one more time, folks.
Yeah, give it one
rained
more time.
all week. There we go. Oh, I hear ya.
Oh, this is a great, great place to come. West Point Lake. Got them. It's got plenty of big fish in it, but it has been an unusual tournament, but great, great competition.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk to a real winner. There is one in between us here today.
Right.
How about, let's hear it for the winner down at Falcon Lake already this season, Keith Combs. Give it up for Keith Combs.
Exactly right. And folks, what this man right here, Keith Combs, did down at Falcon Lake. Keith, just walk us through your life since that victory right there.
You know, it's been incredible. Just to get an Elite Series win is something incredible. But to go down there at Falcon, you know, and Falcon's it's been kind of tough, but to go down there and catch those big ones that week on a lake that I fish, you know, just unbelievable.
So you catch a C-note down there, over 100 pounds of bass, and then we look at this footage right here, slightly tougher. And the thing about West Point is, compared to other tough fisheries that don't have a big population, this lake has them.
You know, absolutely. You know, we had to switch gears a lot and do things different. But it's a totally different deal. We do know that this lake has the fish because when we were here 2 years ago, we saw huge weights, you know, 2 20-pound bags the first day. So getting here this week is a bit of a shock that it was so tough.
I throw it to you, my friend. What has made this lake so tough? Granted, it's post-spawn, and we see you fishing for those post-spawners, which is negative number 1, but there's been other factors throughout the week here on West Point.
You know, it is. Conditions have changed every day. Last time we were here, we saw lower water conditions, and that makes it a little bit easier to pinpoint them. Right now, you look out there and there's tons of cover. Every bank looks good, so you really don't know where to start. You have a shad spawn going on, you have a bass spawn going on. You know, a lot of things happening, not one particular thing.
Hard to focus on one thing throughout the week.
Absolutely, you know, and the largemouth game, you know, you have to play the largemouth game here to win. The spots just aren't big enough. You know, there's a very narrow window. In the afternoons like this, when it warmed up, the largemouth were flooding the shallows. The question is, did you have the patience to stay in there and wait for them, or are you in the right pockets when they show up?
Well, Keith, the fact that you're here talking to us today and not out there fishing with the top 12 is testament to the fact that this is a volatile place. Things happen, things turn around, swap around very quickly. But let's take a look at some of the action from today out there. And how about a man from down in 8th place? Started out with a terrific classic this year, Hank Cherry, and he's had a great season ever since.
And folks, we've been waiting for a 6-pounder all week on camera. We'll get ready. Hank Cherry dropping one in the boat early this morning, and a lot of guys focusing on a shad spawn. Here's the best thing. Doesn't even try to lip this fish.
Watch this. This is some incredible footage right here.
A lot of these guys focusing on that early shad spawn around docks.
You know, absolutely. If you can find the shad spawn on this, like, you can get well in a hurry. You see Hank doing it right there. And, you know, a lot of times when you're into them, it can be 3 or 4 in a row.
Why was that so limited? When you heard earlier in this week, you heard shad were spawning in a lot of the clay banks, a lot of the shallow points on boat docks, and it gradually went away.
Well, I think there's still a lot of bass that are spawning. So, you know, if the shad are out there and the bass are out there, they're gonna take that opportunity to eat them when they're spawning. But since there's still a lot of bass that are shallow, it just didn't make the shad spawn that good. But, you know, it can happen, and it can happen big time. So if a guy makes that work, he can go with a huge bag today.
Our leader coming into today, we interviewed him yesterday. I said, are you going to win it? He said, oh gosh, the guy who catches the big fish, the one big fish on the final day is the guy who's going to win it. Might have we been looking at our winner right there? I mean, we don't know. Anybody from anywhere in that 12 could win today, right?
Oh, absolutely. As tight as the field was, and there are big fish here. You know, there's 6, 7, 8 pound fish in this lake. The guy who catches, you know, a good limit of fish and puts one big kicker like that, hey, that could change everything.
All right, another one of our big players on this day, and you are going to not believe the place he's fishing right here. Let's take a look at Madison, Mississippi's Pete Pons. Pete Pons coming in second to start this day, and look at that right there. Looks like he's fishing in the city fountain.
Exactly. Looks like he's kind of trout fishing, and Pete Pons very, very confident after day 3. The most amazing thing he said, this is earlier this morning right here. Let's take a look at Jamie Freilich getting a little camera work done there.
That's not Jamie Freilich.
No, it's actually not at all. Lying.
That is
but
not.
The thing is, Pete Pons said, the more rain we were getting, the more runoff, the more flow I was going to get. Keith Combs, Pete Pons, very confident this morning.
You can throw and throw and throw, but it looks like you're throwing at the same place over and over. Really what you're doing is fishing these seams, and every time you make a cast one way, 2 feet to the left or 2 feet to the right, that lure is tracking a totally different way. So you're not really throwing in the same place over and over. And the rate of retrieve has a lot to do with fishing current. There he is. It's going to be I don't think this is a bass. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Woo! Brother, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get another one.
Something like that can do it for you, right, Keith? Find something different like that, a little shoot, fishing, using the weather to your advantage, using these heavy rains to your advantage.
Oh, you know, absolutely. Pete's in a little runoff ditch, and it's probably got some bait in it right there. I mean, I'm just guessing. I wish I'd have found that spot. But, that's something that most of the muddy water most of the water coming into the lake is extremely muddy. It looks like he has something clear coming in there. That's totally different.
And what we found out really late in the day, folks, if you were following this on Bassmaster.com, things were changing by the minute, and we kind of lost radio with a lot of our anglers right around 2 o'clock, I would say, right. Tommy. Yep. There were things changing all the way up to 2 o'clock. This is going to be an unbelievable weigh-in. And the one thing we saw finally transpire in this event, someone getting on a load of big largemouth that were spawning.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the big wild card, and it's so easy to pass it over out here because, like I said, like the first day for me, it was a last hour. And if you're in the right place at the right time, they just swim to you.
And definitely one angler, we're not going to give it away who it was. One angler was in the right place at the right time, and the great thing, on the final day in front of all of you.
Yeah, well, let's take a look also at what?
Oh, you're giving the Christmas present away, man.
our leader to start this day. We need to take a look at Tommy Biffle out there. He said something. He's been shooting for largemouth all week long. You said you made possibly a mistake on day 2 by concentrating on spotted bass a little bit, Keith. But this is Tommy Biffle in action. Of course, he's going way, way up there. And you can see that water, the nature of it has changed. It is dark. It is muddied up.
I like a tough tournament, you know. This has been real tough, but I don't do real good when they're catching 100-pound stringers. It's better for me if it's pretty tough. My deal is I got to have a big bite. You know, I had a big bite the first day, and every day I've been thinking I'm going to get another big bite. One big bite may win this.
I don't think he's 14. He needs to be. No, thank you. You. I'm going to put him over here on the cool side.
Tommy Biffle hoping to, taking the lead, but 9 ounces only is that lead into the final day, hoping to be the guy that wins the $100,000, that claims the spot in the Bassmaster Classic. I don't want to get off the subject here, Keith, but how sweet is it to already be qualified for the Classic?
Well, you know, it means a lot. On a tough tournament like this, when you know you're not going to get many bites, but if there's a way you think you can get some bigger fish, you can stay out there and fish for them, knowing you already have that Classic berth and you're not fishing for it. It's a big deal. It changes your whole outlook.
Changes your season.
You right now, obviously in contention to make a run at Angler of the Year. After we go to Montgomery in a week, does it concern you going up north? You're known as a Southern gentleman.
What?
You know, I hadn't heard that one before.
I just
Mark.
made it up, Keith.
All right, that sounds like you. But, you know, no, I like to go up there and fish for those smallmouth. I like to fish any fishery that's going to be a slugfest. Those last 2 are going to be nothing but a slugfest.
It's a pretty good guest right here. He's a good guy to have on the Hooked Up Show.
Absolutely love it. Folks, give it up right here for a champion, Keith Combs. And
Falcon
before we do this, Tommy Sanders,
yes.
Millsap, where are you? Millsap, come on up here. Come on up here. Folks, one of the finest musicians from our area right here named Millsap. Millsap, here's what I want you to do. Thanks for watching Hooked Up. Here comes the weigh-in on 3, 2, 1. Give it to me.
Thanks for watching Hook Up. Here comes the weigh-in.
Nailed it! Yeah!
The Yamaha VMAX SHO. First it changed the game. Now it's set the standard. But don't take our word for it.
The whole shot was everything they said it was going to be.
And we accelerated from like 50 miles an hour to 70, and it was like that.
So fast, so quiet. I mean, you give it power, and it's just there.
That thing right there is just bad.
The whole shot on it, the second to none. Oh, yeah, it's for real.
Take a demo ride. Feel the power yourself. You'll know why we call it the Game Changer.
Welcome to the inner circle. Rotating coverage at 300 feet gives you a detailed 360-degree view of structure, contour changes, and fish. So you can see them before they see you. Introducing 360 imaging, only from Omni.
I promise to be ready anytime. I promise to love the sport just as much as you do. I promise to always be flexible. I promise to pull my weight and then some. I am Trilene, and I promise to never give up. Built with innovation, fueled by passion. Berkeley Trilene, America's most trusted fishing line.
The 2012 Tundra. With an available 381 horsepower, 5.7-liter V8 engine that can tow over 10,000 pounds, and oversized disc brakes. It's the truck that's as dependable as the people who drive them.
Hey, nice truck. Nice boat.
When you think Georgia, at the height of spring, you think of a place that's just about perfect. Instead, we get a place that's completely different this time around. Pelting rain, storm after storm, while you try to catch bass that are unsettled and, well, shaken by this whole weather thing.
Tommy Biffle proves the veteran pro that he is.
It's a good thing these guys are the best in the world. And like always, we're down to 12 who can fish their way through that stuff. Grizzled vets and young hopefuls in mix, $100,000 in top points on the line at the West Point Lake Battle.
It's the Bassmaster Elite Series West Point Lake Battle, brought to you by Toyota, Bass Pro Shops, Berkeley, Evan Williams Bourbon, Humminbird, Triton Boats, Mercury, Minn Kota, Nitro, Skeeter Boats, and by Yamaha. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Dave Mercer!
Here we go. How are you guys doing today? Who was here yesterday? You are all absolutely out of your mind, insane. It was crazy yesterday. I was amazed that anybody showed up in torrential pouring rain. Who was not here yesterday? You are extremely lazy and not committed, okay? But we are ready to have a good time here on Championship Sunday. Are you guys ready? We are excited to get this party started. We started with 100, cut it down to 50 now. Just 12 remain, and what a 12 it is gonna be. One of them gonna be holding that trophy up here and punching their ticket to the 2014 Bassmaster Classic and rolling on down the road to our next event on the Alabama River. This has been an exciting tournament, and as you saw in that footage, Tommy Sanders, Mark Zona broke down. This has been a changing tournament, one of the most changing tournaments we've ever had. The lake conditions, the weather conditions have changed every single day. I'm excited for the first time this week. I'm actually wearing shorts, and it is May here in Georgia the way it should be. But we are going to start this event in just a few minutes, and we would never, ever start a Bassmaster event without the national anthem. So can I please ask you to stand and remove your hat and welcome Pam Stribling to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the home of the brave.
Ben Striblin, an incredible job. We are excited to get started here, and what an absolute sea of people have showed up to see our Bassmaster Elite Series pros and see this title get handed off here in just a few minutes. It's been an incredible event from the start. It would not have been as special without such a great host community. I want to thank LaGrange, Georgia, and Troup County. I know they're here. They're working hard. They had to keep this venue together under all that rain and did an incredible job. Let me hear it for them. Get loud, ladies and gentlemen. None of this would have been possible without all the great sponsors that make this event possible, and I just want to point them out really quickly to you. Of course, Toyota, Bass Pro Shops, Berkeley, Evan Williams Bourbon, Humminbird, Mercury, Minn Kota, Nitro Boats, Skeeter Boats, Triton Boats, and Yamaha. You see a lot of our anglers wearing Carhartt clothing, Diet Mountain Dew, one of our newest sponsors, Livingston Lures, Lowrance, Lucky Strike Lures, Power Pole, Shimano, Ramada Worldwide, and Mustang Survival. It's those companies that make this event possible, and we are excited to be back here in Georgia. We were not here last year. We came back, and we are loving it. You guys are incredible fishing fans, and we are up for a big show here. But you guys have a job, and that is, and it's a job I know you're well suited for, because you've already shown me, and that is to make lots and lots of noise as we bring our anglers through here. Are you guys going to be our loudest crowd of the year? I believe you could do that, but you have a tall order because we have had some incredible crowds this year, but we will see how it works out. We're going to bring our 12 pros through here in just a minute, and you guys make lots of noise. Welcome all our viewers watching around the world on Bassmaster.com. Let them know that LaGrange, Georgia is where you want to come to have a good time, and we have had a good time, and I want to bring out, I'm going to test to see if you guys are ready to make noise. I'm going to test it. I'm going to bring out our tournament director. And I want you to say, and he's been under the weather lately. For those of you watching online, you know he hasn't been weighing the fish, and he's been under the weather, and I'm so happy he is back here at this event with us. So I want you to welcome him right. Let me hear it for Mr. Trip Weldon. Boy, oh boy, Trip, you have seen these crowds, before, but these guys are ready to rock here.
These guys are amazing, and yesterday was even more amazing in all of those conditions. You know, these folks love their fishing, Dave. Anywhere you get down south, Alabama, Georgia, it doesn't matter. They love their bass fishing. It's been a great week. We certainly want to thank. I think I heard you thank them, but I want to say thank you to LaGrange County Chamber of Commerce, Page Estes, Large Innings, and a guy, Ken Young, has ramrodded everything we do on this hillside and in the parking lot. He told me an amazing stat. Out of all that mess we had yesterday, we only had one car get stuck.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Was it yours?
No, it wasn't mine.
Well, that's good.
No, I was in a four-wheel drive Toyota.
Oh, wow. You should be a professional angler. You spun that into a plug.
That's right. I'm going to plug them again. You see our road occupied here. We're not doing a drive-through way in today. We know we could do it with these four-wheel drive Tundras, but just because of the conditions and all, the anglers are backstage. We got a lot of fish back there. It's going to be exciting. I want to thank, I'm on light duty. I'm not weighing fish. I want to thank the Bass staff. I want to thank Mr. John Stewart, Senior Tournament Manager. He ran our high school stuff today. He done a fantastic job. And I'm going to bring him on out, unless you want to talk about, we're at our halfway point in the season.
We are at our halfway point.
We are. We move to Montgomery next week. River's flowing like crazy. Spotted bass are going to bite. That's my home, and it's been taking incredible weights over there. And then, we venture to Wisconsin, Detroit, New York. Where else? I'm missing one spot. No, Montgomery. That's all right. Montgomery. Then we go to La Crosse, Wisconsin. Then we go to Washington, New York, way up the St. Lawrence River, and back to Detroit. Finish this Elite Series on two dynamic, as you know, smallmouth fisheries up in your neck of the woods, and it's going to be fantastic. It's been a great year thus far, and now I want to bring John Stewart out. Good job. See you soon.
All right, let's hear it for Trip Weldon and bring on John Stewart, our weighmaster. John, you bringing out some special guests here. Tell me what's going on.
I got some good friends here. Talk about troopers. These boys here were here all 4 days. Rain, shine, running fish out back, and very few that were here all 4 days. They looked like drowned rats yesterday, and they slept good every night running those fish. And I want to introduce them. We have Tyler Langston, Michael Langston, Cole Gazaway, and Seth Gazaway. I want to thank them very much. He's been working on his bow there backstage. You saw that. And I also want to do a special thanks. He's not up here, but Jerry Needham. He's a volunteer coordinator, organized all these folks around here with the yellow caps, and we could not do it without all our volunteers, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We are just about ready to weigh some fish. I'm going to tell you how this is going to work. We are going to lead. We want to fill our Toyota hot seat here. If someone comes in, takes the lead, we know who's leading this right now, Tommy Biffle. When someone takes the lead, they sit right there. The goal is to stay there till the very end of the weigh, and we'll bring them up. There will be 2 anglers on this stage. One of them will be crowned our champion here in just a few minutes. But I need you guys to make lots and lots of noise. Who wants to be on TV right now? As Mark Zona proves week after week, the best way to be on TV is to be absolutely positively insane. So I need you guys to be insane for me, just to go absolutely nuts. You see all these cameras around here? On the count of 3, I want 30 seconds of complete insanity. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That was pretty good. But this dude right here in the green, no, don't go anywhere. Come back here. You were louder than half the crowd. Okay, nobody make noise. Let me hear. You got to show them how to be nuts. I know you can do it. You just did it. Everyone be quiet. Do it. All right, you're going to lead them, okay? I think you can lead them. Don't go. Dude, come back here. What is your name? Andrew? Everybody say hi to Andrew. Look at you, a rock star, Andrew. You can sign autographs afterwards, okay? On the count of 3, I want you to come here. You're going to do the countdown, okay? They'll listen to you more, believe me. On the count of 3, when he gets to 3, you guys go crazy.
1, 2, 3.
All right, we are just who was that at the very end there? Andrew, somebody over there might be giving you a running for the... No, you don't... Okay, you? What's your name? Matthew? Andrew, come here. Whoa, no, come here. All right, this is incredible. This is more fun than anything for me, okay? I normally tell my kids to not make noise, but you're not my kid, so I'm going to tell you to make noise. Okay. He's our defending champion. We're going to give him the first shot. Everyone be quiet. Go. Do you think he can beat that? Oh, he says yeah. Okay, ready? Go. I think he just, wow. Your voice just changed right in front of us right there. All right, let's hear it for our 2 maniacs. You guys know how this works. The louder you are, the more fun this weigh-in is going to be. This is going to be broadcast all around the world on Bassmaster.com and on ESPN2. In case you can't hear me way back there, this is my pom-pom. When I spin this, you get loud. Let's try it out. Andrew, you're not going to be able to talk after this weigh-in. Your parents are probably very excited. All right, I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are we ready, John Stewart? We're ready to go? I said, you guys were good for a minute there, but you got to be better than that. Are you ready? Let's get ready to weigh 'em! We're We're starting this party off right. Coming in 12th position, the 2013 Bassmaster Classic champion from Petal, Mississippi, Game Face Cliff Pace. Cliff Pace started off today with 29 pounds, 8 ounces. He's got a limit, looking for 4 pounds, 2 ounces. 9 pounds, 2 ounces, not a problem. Once again, Cliff Pace moves into the lead in a Bassmaster Elite Series event with 38 pounds, 10 ounces. With 38 pounds, 10 ounces, Cliff, you are leading this deal, and this year keeps rolling for you. Having an incredible year, and I know you would love to win this Elite Series event. You're going to be taking our hot seat in a minute, but tell me how this week worked out for you.
Well, this week I just kind of basically took every day for what it was. You know, the first day of the tournament, I caught all my fish on top water, but it was the first day that we had those conditions, and it seemed like as those conditions kind of hung on, those fish got a little bit more adapt to them, and the aggressiveness, the early feeding frenzy of that low pressure was kind of gone. So the second day I slowed down, and I still fished shallow. You know, the first day I caught all my fish out of the shoreline grass on a couple of different topwater baits, and then the second day I caught them out of the shoreline grass on a wacky worm and just a Texas rig lizard. And then the third day, I really don't remember what I did the third day. And then today, I know what I remember I did the third day. The third day, I went and fished for largemouth for about 3 hours and never had a bite. So I just scrapped it and started just fishing for bites, fishing more main lake stuff, really fishing for spotted bass. And I felt like if I could get on the right group of, spots, I could catch them 10 or 11 pounds here, and that's pretty good this week. So today, I just basically scrapped the largemouth fishing and fished for spots just to have fun. I probably had 50 or 60 bites. And ended up with 9 too. So it was a lot of fun. I caught them today on, a shaky head, a big crankbait, a Carolina rig, just about anything you wanted to throw. You can get on any of these long, flat clay points and get out there and graph around with your ranch unit, especially with that structure scan, and find you any kind of rock. And that's the deal. You can get a bite off any of it that's out there. They might be this big, but they're around it.
Well, it has worked out for you. You are leading this deal. Congratulations. With that, I'd like you to have a seat in our Toyota hot seat. He doesn't want to go out there because it's raining. Thank you for helping us out here. Let's bring through our next angler. He came second in the Classic just a few years ago, led the first 2 days of our last event. Nope. I'm wrong. I'm jumping ahead. He is from Louisiana. Let me hear it for the Cajun baby, Cliff Crochet. Cajun baby. Rappers make it rain, but it looks like you made it rain coming out here in the rain. You've had an incredible tournament. You came out there and you literally spotted the field 5 fish. You came, first day you had 3, second day you had 3, yesterday you had 4. So you 5 fish short. So you basically could have started this tournament on Friday. What happened today?
They didn't bite today. I knew I was dealing with 3 or 4 bites a day. And it just didn't happen to me today. I knew the pressure was high. I shouldn't have done it, but that's the only way I felt I had a chance to win. And I did it, and I didn't get no bites. But it's Sunday. You play to win. You don't play for points. You play to win, and I gambled today, and I lost.
All right. Well, tell me. You got nothing to hide here. You definitely had the best average per size fish. Was it a particular bait, or you just stuck with what was working?
No, I threw a frog all week, a black frog, 80-pound braid, fishing that dead grass, down trees, and when they hit it, it was the coolest thing in the world. They killed it. It just no bites today, but not a fun fishing deal, but definitely a way to get a big bite.
It definitely worked out for you. Want to congratulate you on being one of our final 12, and we will bring through our next angler now. I was a little hyper wanting to bring him through earlier. From Wetumpka, Alabama, welcome the Rooster, Greg Vinson. 29 pounds, 15 ounces. I was excited to bring you out here. Almost brought you out here early. 5 fish today, looking for 8 pounds, 12 ounces to take the lead. 8 pounds, 2 ounces, not going to take the lead, but a great finish here. I know you are happy to be here on Championship Sunday. Let me hear it for Greg Vincent. $38 pounds and an ounce. So, a great tournament, whatever way you look at it. A lot of people picked you for our next event in fantasy fishing. A lot of people look at that, but last 2 weeks you've showed up in a big way.
Yeah, it's been a good last 2 weeks. Bull Shoals, I had a tough break there, but, it's good to be back. It's good to be back fishing well, making good decisions. It's a crazy game we play, and sometimes you get off track just a little bit. It can cause you a lot of trouble, but I'm glad to be back fishing well. Looking forward to going to the Alabama River. It's the first tournament in my career where I get to sleep in my own bed, so I'm excited about that.
Well, we're excited to see how it works out for you. Want to congratulate you on a great finish. And how fitting is this? Our weigh-in starts, and we've got a torrential downpour. All that talk I made of wearing shorts and everything, I guess that's all over. Who do we have next? This is a big, big gun. His second 12 cut this year. He's a 32-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier. 4 of those he has won. From Ava, Missouri, Rick Klund. Started today with 30 pounds, 2 ounces. 3 fish for 7 pounds, 3 ounces. Rick Klund moves into third place right now with 37 pounds, 5 ounces. Rick, not going to win this one, but another 12 at this year, and you're having a phenomenal season.
Well, I'm up and down. Have a good one, have a bad one. I've got to get those bad ones out of the way. But first day I killed everything on a trickster spinnerbait, fishing tree falls. But I only caught one largemouth, so the final day the last 3 days I switched to a Rico topwater. And every largemouth and the 14 pounds and every largemouth I caught since then has been on that topwater.
Well, it's worked out good for you, and we're looking to see you down the road at the Alabama River. We're going to keep on flying through here so you guys don't get as wet. I don't think it's too late anyways, but we'll keep on flying. He almost won the Bassmaster Classic earlier this year, his rookie season on the Bassmaster Elite Series. From Maiden, North Carolina, Hank Cherry. Hank Cherry with 30 pounds, 6 ounces to start of the day. He's got 5 fish, looking for 8 pounds, 5 ounces. 10 pounds, 12 ounces. Hank Cherry moves into first place. Oh, boy. Look at that finned freak of nature in a rainstorm. Hank Cherry brings in Bass Squatch. Oh, boy. 41 pounds, 2 ounces. And we're going to call you Hurricane Hank, because that's what it feels like right now. That one, 5 pounds, 15 ounces, our Carhartt Big Bass of the day. As soon as you brought that fish in the boat, you must have been thinking, this could be my day.
I really did. I thought it was going to have my day, but unfortunately it didn't turn out that way. But my family's here. They got to see me weigh in. Good Lord bless me with the big fish. It's the way it happens.
I'm sure you enjoyed weighing in at the Bassmaster Classic, that giant arena, but this is probably one of the most spectacular weigh-in sights I've ever seen in my life. We started off sunny, but that's over here.
Oh no, this is rain. Come to Georgia, it rains. I don't understand why, but it rains every time I'm here.
Well, you made it rain on the scales today. You are leading with that. We'll bring you over here to our improvised. You don't want to sit out there, do you?
No, I'm not going out there.
There's nice, refreshing Diet Mountain Dews out there.
If I'm still sitting here when they're all done, I'll go out there.
All right. Let's bring through our next angler. He is a former Bassmaster Classic champion, a former Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. He is a 6-time Bassmaster winner from Auburn, California. Get on your feet for Skeet Reese. $31 pounds, 2 ounces to start out the day. He's got 5 fish, looking for 10 pounds and an ounce. 15 pounds, 4 ounces for Skeet Reese with 46 pounds, 6 ounces. Can Skeet be beat? He says, no way. Get loud. $46 pounds, 6 ounces. Unbelievable. Dudes, you came out swinging on the first day. I talked to you the morning of takeoff and day 2, and you said, I'd be happy if I caught a fish. You have handled your way into contention here, and you peaked on the perfect day, the final day. What did you do?
Fished. It was weird. Today, I fished a community creek that gets stocked left and right for year after year, and I knew there was some good fish in there. Aaron and I were in there the first day along with 20 other boats, and I was able to get a couple good bites. And what the heck's going on over there? I don't sound so good. And but I kept going back because I had a couple big ones on beds I kept trying to catch, and I could not catch them. This morning I picked up a drop shot and caught a couple, throwing a little 4-inch Havoc bottom hopper. I caught a couple on a Lucky Craft LV100. And then this afternoon, the sun positioned the fish. And Tuesday was my best day of practice. And I kind of figured out how the fish positioned. And today, with the sun finally coming out, the water came up a little bit. I felt like I'm just going to go fishing, and I put trolling motor down. And just fortunately, I just started getting some good bites. And now I got to wait and see if that's going to be enough or not.
Skeet, it's been 4 years since your last victory here in the Elite Series, and for the longest time it seemed like there would never be a ripple in your career, and you kind of hit a roadblock a few years ago, but a win here would be you're complete, back on top of this game. How much would that mean to you?
Well, we play to win, so I come to every tournament trying to win. You don't always have the opportunity, so if I can get the win, I can't ask for that. The trophy, obviously the money's not so bad either. A cool $100,000, but, and most of you know that I fish for one title, and that's Angler of the Year. And to be able to get points out of this, and that's to me the most important thing.
Well, you are leading this deal right now. I want to wish you luck, ask you to come on over here, have a seat in our hot seat. You don't have to sit, you're going to sit in the rain? Skeet. Who cares? Tell me about Skeet Reese. Dude, you didn't even think about it. You have no problem sitting in the rain.
Not right now. No, if they're sitting out here, I can sit out here.
No matter what way this works out, you just proved right there, Skeet Reese is a champion. Let me hear it for him. Now, Skeet, I said you're a champion, and you're performing like a champion, but these next group of guys may have something to say about that. Let's bring through our next angler, 3-time Elite Series winner, country music singing sensation and fishing sensation from Donald, South Carolina, Casey Ashley. 31 pounds, 12 ounces to start out the day. After Skeet's giant day, he needs a big day. 14 pounds, 11 ounces. 2 fish for 2 pounds, 9 ounces. The bad news is you're not going to take the lead. The good news is you don't have to sit in the rain.
This is true. Today was probably one of the toughest days I've had on the water. I just couldn't get my mind in it today. About 9 o'clock this morning, I've had migraines since I was a kid, and one hit me today, and I took all kind of medicine. I couldn't get rid of it. So all I want to do is take a nap. My cameraman asked me one time, he said, how bad does it hurt? I said, I would trade getting rid of this headache for not another bite today. So that's kind of the way my day went. I caught those 2 early, and then I was kind of in a lull all day. I couldn't get anything going. I found about a 5 or 6 pounder at 1 o'clock on the bed. And I fished for the last 2 hours, and I couldn't make her bite. So that's kind of the way my day went. But I got to thank all my sponsors for, supporting me. That's why I'm here. That's how I'm here. And all these fans, again, for standing out in the rain. We appreciate it. And I hope we come back to LaGrange, Georgia.
Congratulations on a great finish. Look forward to seeing you at the next one. Skeet Reese gets to kick back, enjoy a Diet Mountain Dew while we bring a few more anglers out. Our next angler has already had a win at the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open level, making back-to-back 12 cuts here in the Elite Series in his sophomore season. From San Jose, California, the California Kid, Chris ZALDAIN. 31 pounds, 15 ounces to start at the day. He's got 5 fish, looking for 14 pounds, 8 ounces, 6 pounds, 15 ounces. Gonna fall short of that win, but in 3rd place right now. and sitting in 5th place for Angler of the Year. You are having an incredible season.
And that's what it's all about, just being consistent all year, like Skeet says, that AOY race, it's going to be real tight towards the top, and me in my sophomore season to be that far up halfway through the season, you couldn't ask for any more. But I just like to thank LaGrange, Georgia. You guys came out and endured the weather. You guys are loud. You guys are awesome. You have an awesome lake. Thank you very much. And Strike King, Cigar Line, I couldn't do it without you guys this week. I was throwing a Strike King shimmy stick all week. Real slow presentation, real slow bite on that light Cigar Line. That was the key to my success this week. Also, Keystone Oilfield Fabrication. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I can't wait for the river next week.
We look forward to seeing you there. Go back, get warmed up, and we will bring our next angler out. Just a few anglers left to go, but this next angler, he has already tasted Elite Series victory this year at our first event. He has won 4 Bassmaster Elite Series events from Jasper, Texas. Give me a little love for Todd FAIRCLOTH. Giant rally yesterday all the way from 32nd place into our top 5. Had 32 pounds and an ounce. Today, 7 pounds even, moves into 3rd place with just 4 fish today. And I guess that rally yesterday got you back in this thing, but fell a little short today.
Yeah, I had real high hopes going out there today. After catching that big bag like I did yesterday, it's just human nature to try to do the same thing, as you did the day before. And it just didn't pan out. I finally switched gears about noon and ended up catching the 4 that I caught. But, hey, y'all are some dedicated fans out there sending in the rain, and we greatly appreciate that. It's a fantastic fishery. You just got to kind of mix it up. My best advice is, though, if you catch them one day in a spot, probably don't go back there the next day.
We look forward to seeing you at our next event. Skeet, just 3 anglers left to go. Tell me, how you feeling?
I'm not 100% confident. I'm nervous. I am. There's too many good anglers, and they had a 2-pound plus lead over me, so that's what I'm stressing out. How's that rink feel for you?
It's incredible. It's beautiful.
I'm glad you finally got out here with us.
Lend me your jacket.
Sure. After we're done.
After we're done. Well, the good news is if you do pull this off, you're a bit of a crier, so the rains may hide the rain may hide the tears.
I'm no bones about it. I'm an emotional person. I get passionate about what I do, and if I get the wind, if I ball, hey, I'm gonna ball. I don't care.
All right, let's bring through our next angler. This one is a big one. He has won 6 Bassmaster events. He is a former Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. He is a reigning and defending Toyota Trucks All-Star champion from Leeds, Alabama. Aaron Martens. Amart started out today with 32 pounds, 10 ounces. He's got 5 fish looking for 13. 11 pounds, 12 ounces. Amart moves into 2nd place, digging deep in that Berkeley Havoc weigh-in bag. You guys want to see some fish? Make some noise for Aaron Martens. $44 pounds, 6 ounces. Amart, you got close with this one, but I guess that yesterday is the day that is going to haunt you as you drive away from here.
No, the 5-pounder I lost an hour and a half ago to haunt me. It's just, it was mine to lose here. It's always, you gotta have a perfect event. We always talk about what it takes to win one of these, and you have to have a flawless event. It sounds like Skeet had one, and I lost 2 3-pounders besides the 5, but the 5 one day was a jab to the heart. It was like at 2:00, and it was kind of crazy. I was looking at a 2-pounder. I just thought I want to reel my fluke in, which they're eating really good. And it was on something, but it was over a big giant 80-foot pine tree. It was kind of laying down in the water in a pocket. And I kind of paid attention to my rod real quick, and it was kind of moving, so I set the hook on it. It didn't move. I kind of laid back on it again and cranked as hard as I could, and I held it, and it was like fish, big one. And I almost had it over the log. It was about 2 feet from the log, and the line just glanced the log, barely. It was crazy because it just barely touched it, and it broke. But I was using light line. I was using 12-pound line, and I'm almost thinking maybe there was something stuck in the log or something it touched and it broke off. But you know, it happens. That's fishing, and it hurt. And I had my opportunities, but I had a great event. I love this lake. It is a really cool lake. If you can get rid of the stripers, it'd be even better. They eat everything. But I caught a 25-pound striper yesterday, too. I didn't tell everybody that. But Mom and Dad, love you guys. Skeet, I think you got a good chance on this one, bro. He's won enough, though. But I want to thank all you guys staying out there in the ring, getting all wet. That's pretty awesome. I hope we keep coming back here, because I think the more we come back here, the more I'm going to learn this lake, and the more chances I'll have to win one of these things. But it is a really neat lake to fish, and it would be a lot better if you get rid of the stripers.
Let's hear it for Aaron Martin.
I want to thank B.A.S.S for putting on. I want to thank B.A.S.S for putting on an awesome tournament. They are by far the best circuit out there, and I want to thank my sponsors for having probably the best boat on tour. I think is the Phoenix and the Mercury Outboard is my favorite. And also check out the Orochi Double X Series rods. They're under $300 now, and they're really awesome. That's why I use this tournament, and you'd like them.
You realize you started talking and it was dark and pouring rain. You talked so long that the weather totally changed.
That's how I know.
That's what makes this sport so special, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more anglers left to go. A former Bassmaster Classic qualifier and former Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open champion from Madison, Mississippi. Welcome, Pete Pons. Pete Pons at 33 pounds even. Needs 13 pounds, 7 ounces today. 5 fish. 11 pounds and an ounce. Pete Pons having an incredible season, has made every single cut this year, and driving out of here in 3rd place currently. Get loud for Pete Pons. Pete, you got to be pretty happy with the week that you have had here. An incredible event. Going to fall a little short on this one, but your great season continues on.
Yeah, you know, I am happy. Of course, I would have liked to win. Congrats to Skeet or Tommy, whichever one won. I'm going to tell you, you know, I fished hard. I don't know that I would change anything that I did. I think I fished pretty good. And I caught most of my fish on a topwater, a pop-R. And today I happened to find a little drainage waterfall in practice, and I found that. And, you know, it paid off for me this morning. This morning the topwater bite just didn't work for me. So it was a pretty stressful day, but I'm happy with it. Hey, I want to thank, you know, my family at home, my wife and my mother and dad and all the support that they give me throughout this year and this season. Thank all the sponsors too. And not last but not least, I want to thank everybody, man. What an incredible crowd. What incredible hospitality you guys have at LaGrange, Georgia. Appreciate you guys very much.
We appreciate you being here and look forward to seeing you down the road at the Alabama River, our stop next week. We have 1 angler left to go, but this angler is a big stick. He has won 6 times before. He's an 18-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier. Started off today in 1st place with 33 pounds, 9 ounces. Let me hear it for Tommy Biffle. With that, we're going to bring Skeet Reese over here before we put those fish on the scales. It's either Skeet Reese or Tommy Biffle. 33 pounds and 9 ounces. Needs 12-14. 1 pound, 5 ounces. Skeet Reese cannot be beat at the West Point Lake Battle. 7-time Bassmaster Elite Series champion, Skeet Reese. $46 pounds, 6 ounces, a tight affair, but your incredible day here has given you a 2-pound victory and your 7th Bassmaster win, and you're heading back to the Bassmaster Classic. Tell me how it feels.
It feels really good. Let me hear it. Yeah. That's, you know what? I came into this event. I guess I watched Steve Kennedy win it last year, and
I'm a swim bait guy. I love throwing a swim bait. So I came here fantasizing about winning this tournament on a swim bait. I couldn't get bit on a swim bait this week. So the lake fish totally different than I anticipated. I fished upriver, down lake, and I wound up just finding in the Highland Marina area. Thanks to Highland Marina, I stayed there. The cabins are awesome this week. So, but I went back there and practiced, and I saw some big ones, and I had some bites. It was the best thing I found in practice. So I wound up grinding it out there all week long, and throwing a weightless worm. There's 3 baits. I had a Berkeley Dover crawler and a methiolate. For the fry garters, throwing a weightless worm, green pumpkin, watermelon, Lucky Craft LV100. Kind of mixed it up, went fishing. But today, the sun came out finally, and I think it positioned the fish where they were on Tuesday. And I just started going down the banks fishing slow, and I just got the key bites. And I can't believe I just won. That's pretty cool.
At what point this week did you really start to think? You said after day one, you really were just happy with one fish the next day to know you were for sure in our top 50 and getting paid. But at what point did you really start putting it together and think, I can walk away from here with this title?
I didn't think about it until I made the cut to fish today. I honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know if I could catch a fish any day going out here. Fishing was tough. I wound up catching 5 to 8 keepers a day. So going out in the morning, I was never optimistic about going and catching a good stringer of fish. I grinded this week, and I go out and I throw a drop shot, and I catch spotted bass. I go up on the bank, I catch a largemouth. So I didn't think about it until I realized the top 12 last night when everybody was within a couple pounds, and I was like, if I can get one good bite, that could be the deciding factor, and then trying to win this thing. I didn't think I was going to go catch 5 3-pounders, so tickled to death with that. One of the key things for me this week was, I don't know if you guys used Berkeley Nano-Fill. It's the greatest line ever made for a spinning reel. I was skipping a weightless worm with a 2-aught Trocar hook, the TK110, straight shank hook, so you get a lot better hook up and land ratio. But that line cast like nothing you'll ever throw. So I was able to skip back and stuff that most people will never get a cast into. So that was one of the advantages, I think, for me this week. But it just grind. That's, sometimes you make what you make hay, and never, I don't know, you talk, would you?
All right, you are the grinder, and we are going to make this official. We'll bring John Stewart out to do the handoff. We are about to make this official. He's done it before, a 7-time Bassmaster champion. Let me hear it. The West Point Lake Battle belongs to Skeet Reese. One more time, Georgia, let me hear it for your champion. Skeet Reese owns the West Point Lake Battle. The 4th stop of the Bassmaster Elite Series belongs to Skeet Reese. Skeet, you're not going to go anywhere. We are going to hang. Who wants to go to Skeet Reese's after party? Because you are one of my very good friends, and I will tell you one thing about Skeet Reese. This dude knows how to party. He is going to go out and party with my buddies Tommy Sanders and Mark Zona and break down the action there. But before I send you out there, I know families watching online at home. Anything you want to say to them?
Well, that's what I was just thinking about, is that I wish my wife and kids could be here. Leah, Courtney, Kim, I love you girls. Wish you could be here, but good thing is Daddy won a trophy. They always ask, did you get a trophy? Did you get a trophy? Daddy got a big trophy. So
Daddy did good, and I want to congratulate you one more time. Let me hear it for Skeet Reese. Skeet Reese is going to make his way down there to Tommy Sanders.
So I've got some of the other elite trophies, but I saw these new trophies this year, and I'm like, I gotta have one of those. So you don't know if you ever get one, but I got one of these cool new trophies. I'm excited about that.
You do got one. Go bring that trophy over to Tommy Sanders and Mark Zona one more time. Let's hear it for your champion, Skeet Reese. Skeet Reese is going to make his way over to Tommy Sanders and Mark Zona. Make sure you pile on in around there. We're going to shoot a segment for ESPN right now. Get on over there. Skeet Reese is going to break down exactly how he caught each and every fish. This is your opportunity to be on TV. Do not miss that opportunity. Make sure you swing yourself over there and cheer on our champion, Skeet Reese.
That rainstorm's awesome. What a crowd here at LaGrange. What we're going to do here. Yeah. What we're doing here is we're shooting the final segment of our full coverage show of this tournament. It's going to be on ESPN a week from today, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. If you live in Georgia, the other way. What are you doing?
Nothing. Sorry. It's been a long weekend.
And don't ruin the moment.
Sorry about that.
And so this will be the final segment. We have 6 segments in a show. So we'll gather around. We'll give him a big hand. We'll get him to talk us through his day. And we'll all celebrate at the end, and it'll all be great. Now,
folks, thanks for hanging through that storm.
Yeah, really, man. Y'all are fantastic.
It's fantastic. Yes,
there
sir.
he is. There he is.
Hi, Tommy. Thank you. Z. How are you, bud?
Nice, huh? Yeah, I think you got it. You got it, good?
Oh, my voice. Yeah, good egg. Couple of them.
Okay. Oh, I thought that was Billy there. Okay. We're almost ready. We're gonna get everybody to rev it up one time. I'll introduce Skeet. We'll rev it up, and then we'll get into the interview here. Okay. You ready, Billy? You rolling? Here we go. Let's really raise the roof in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt.
They like this man. Let's give it up for the winner of the West Point Lake Battle. You know what? Grinders win. That's what grinders do.
Grinder. Am I going to hear that again, Z?
I'm afraid you are, my friend.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, this week was an absolute grind. Caught them different ways, different days. Just went fishing, and I was in an area I knew had some decent fish. But today, with the sun coming out, the water level came back up just a few inches. I think the fish caught back up shallow. Just one of those days where just timing was right, and I'm glad it was my time.
Incredibly tough event. One of the toughest tournaments we've seen in a long time. What happened today in that window? There was a window where we were watching you online on Bassmaster.com. You went off out there. What happened when that sun came out visually for you?
The fish, one, I could see. I wound up catching a few fry garters today, and they're up in about 6 inches of water. So if you weren't up tight and looking back up and just a little stick-ups and brush back there, you couldn't see them. If you cast 3 or 4 feet off the bank, you weren't going to get bit. So I was able to see some fry garters today. My 2 biggest ones just, caught fishing. I learned on Tuesday when the sun came up, it was the best day of practice I had. The fish would position underneath the shade lines of the trees. If you fished in the sun, you couldn't get a bit. But you skip a worm back up underneath the trees in the shade line, and it might only be just a 2-foot shade line, you could get some bites. And today I was able to get a couple big bites that way as well.
One of the things throughout the week, we had some GoPro cameras out there. There were certain fish where either you knew that there was one spawning there, not generally seeing those fish, but you spent an incredible amount of time in very, very isolated spots.
Well, I wound up, most of my fish came out of one creek by Highland Marina there. I found a couple big fish, and I fished for them all week long. I never caught them. But the first morning, there's several good fish in the area, and I pull in. Aaron's sitting on a couple of big fish. Kurt Dove was on another spot. So I went to the next available pocket where I saw a couple good fish, and first cast I lose one about 2.5. I throw it back in there, throwing methiolate Berkeley Dover color. wacky style, and a 4.5 pounder chokes it. And I'm like, oh, that was a nice little bonus. That's your good first fish of the day. And then it kind of started going downhill from there. But today was just to be able to grind it out again.
Oh, you are the grinder.
When the ball gets rolling, and we always said that you are one of the hardest people to read ever in the Elite Series. You don't lay your cards down for us. Is this one of those tournaments you came into and thought, oh, I got a shot to win?
Well, I fantasized about winning it, but I didn't think I'd be throwing a spinning rod and 10-pound line. I thought I'd be throwing a swim bait if I'd won. So it just goes to show that preconceived notions usually don't ever work. So I just keep an open mind and go fishing, and that's what I did this week.
You look like, and from what you're saying, you kind of saw the fish to win on Tuesday, but still, you had to deal with a lot of adversity. You had to grind it. We have to use that word one more time because we look at the guy who led the first day, not here in the final 12 on the last day. Getting through that, fishing around the weather, around all these conditions that changed every day. I mean, that's what won the tournament, wasn't it?
Well, I think so. Just being able to fish open-minded. I mean, whether you fish this lake, doesn't matter what lake you go to. Most people get caught up in fishing their spots, especially when they're fishing the home lakes. We pride ourselves being professionals that we can just fish the moment and fish the conditions. And I was able to fish the conditions and change up the week. It's the simple thing is like second morning. I knew the bedfish were kind of picked off. And I thought about a bait all week long, and I never threw it, and the conditions just seemed right, so I pulled it out of the rod box. I was throwing a Lucky Craft LV100, little lipless crankbait, and I caught, three of the keepers I weighed, and those were key fish, and I wound up catching 2 on it this morning, and so it just goes to show you can never threw it in practice. But one of those instincts where it's like the conditions are right, a little bit of a shad spawn going on, and, you catch a few fish, but...
Your last win, 2010, at a place called Lake Guntersville. Why is that sticking in my... Oh, that's where we're having the Classic next year. That's not a bad deal, is it?
No, I'm kind of partial to Guntersville. I mean, it's... you never go back to expect, the same results. You don't expect the same results, but it'll be a different time of year. But the good thing about Guntersville, it's a great fishery with a lot of big ones, and we were going to jack some giants in that one.
Making the Classic is huge, but you said something up on that stage right there. You said, I want to remind everybody, most of you remember me saying this before, not the Classic, but Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year is my goal always. Still feel that way, huh?
Every year. That's my driving for me. It's my driving force. I love winning trophies. For winning tournaments, we play to win. But to me, the ultimate title there is in fishing is Angler of the Year. That's the Bassmaster Classic's bigger for the fans, the media, but as an angler of the Year it doesn't get better than that. So the good thing is I helped myself this week in the points, and we're halfway through the season, so I don't count on anything. But at least I'm going to be in decent position going from on out.
Skeet, real quick, you are from California. Family is a long way from here. What do you want to say to them right now, bud?
Girls, I love you. Daddy's bringing home a trophy. The check's gonna help. We're doing a little remodel right now. So.
Got it. Thank goodness.
It's gonna help, but I know they're probably they're watching Daddy right now, and they're jacked up. I know my wife Kim's probably freaking out. So
one more look at the Berkeley Final leaderboard. There it is. What a comeback on the final day of this great battle here in Georgia. Let's hear it. Number 7 for Skeet Reese. Give it up.
And folks, Skeet said he will sign autographs for every one of you.
And Zona will too.